I've got a visitor. Creeped up behind me asking me if I had a light in my pants.
Number 5. May 2023, United Kingdom. Grizzly Gaz is a camping YouTuber who explores some of the most remote and wild places across the UK, often with his loyal French bulldog, Fendi, by his side. His videos usually feature some extreme conditions and areas your average camper wouldn't go, often encountering wild animals. But in May 2023, it wasn't an animal. A mysterious man snuck up behind him in the middle of the forest.
Right, we've got steaks on go now. Bit of ribeye. Pot boiling for some mash. And I've got a visitor. Creeped up behind me asking me if I had a light in my pants. This is Martin anyway. I don't know him, but he's stopping for a steak, so...
Just some random creep wandering about.
You went round here in a poncho a couple of months ago, were you?
I don't think I was.
While on the surface, it seems like a friendly, harmless encounter. There's something off about it. Gaz mentions that Martin had snuck up behind him, but thankfully, he turned around just in time. Usually, if you stumble upon someone camping alone in the middle of the woods, you'd make yourself known, right? But not this time. Martin appeared out of nowhere, quiet, strange, and asking for things. Gaz would later explain that Martin told him he was homeless and that drug abuse had led him to a life wandering through the forest. They shared a conversation and even some dinner by the fire. But then, Martin vanished. When Gaz turned around to chop some firewood, the man had left.
Fed that lad, and let's be honest, he were a junkie, right? Fed him, talking about life and how he got to where he is and drugs and whatnot. And then turned around to cut some firewood up. So I cut a couple of logs up, and when I turned back round, he'd gone. So scanned about, and he was just walking off into darkness. So I said, "See you later, pal." He went, yeah, see ya," and just left.
After noticing Martin's strange behavior, Gaz got a bad gut feeling. Something about the encounter didn't sit right. He feared the man might come back, maybe to rob him, or worse. With all his filming gear and camping equipment lying around, Gaz said he couldn't shake the thought that Martin might tell his friends about the guy alone in the woods with a bunch of expensive filming equipment. Knowing that drug addicts can do desperate things for their next fix, Gaz decided to play it smart. Before packing up and leaving the site, he set up a trail camera on a nearby tree, just to test his theory.
And that's why I didn't want to light it really, because then trail camera's gone. That's where it was, on this tree. So my gut instincts were right, weren't they, to leave.
Number 4. February 2024, Jaywick, England. Brendan Explores, a well-known YouTuber famous for his stealth camping adventures, decided to take on one of his riskiest challenges yet: a night in Jaywick. For those who don't know, Jaywick is a small seaside town on the Essex coast, often labeled as one of the most deprived areas in the United Kingdom. Once a holiday resort in the 1930s, it's now infamous for its crumbling homes, poverty rates, and high crime levels. Locals often warn outsiders not to camp there, especially at night. But Brendan wanted to take on the challenge. Stealth camping right in the middle of one of the UK's roughest neighborhoods until he found out why.
Whenever you see someone walking down the road with a Halford Special going past as well, playing music out of a portable speaker, alone. That's a big red flag. I don't know if I feel this car park or not. I'm gonna follow my gut instinct. I'm not parking here tonight. Just got a funny feeling about it.
He decides against staying in the car park, trusting his gut. He finds a new spot secluded from the residents and housing.
This'll do me. I'm alone, but I mean, there's no other houses around me.
He packs up for the night. However, he'd be woken up in the middle of the night.
Alrighty. Oh, nice and quiet here. Not even a sound of a distant car. I think someone's outside the back. Someone just tried the door. Hey!
The window shatters. Brendan's yell manages to scare them off.
Right, whoever the that was has now gone.
Brendan, terrified and shaken, as anyone would be after what happened, decided he'd had enough. He packed up his gear, ended the challenge early, and drove 3.5 hours home, with a shattered window as the only proof of how close things really got. A chilling reminder that warnings exist for a reason, and that safety should never be taken lightly, because the world can be an unpredictable, dangerous place. Number 3, January 2022. A video uploaded to the YouTube channel The Facts by howtohunt.com, a channel dedicated to exploring the wilderness and outdoor survival. This chilling clip was sent in by a group of teenagers who were camping deep in the woods, completely alone. Or so they thought.
Get Trevor. Austin, get the light. Hey! That was not an elk. Where's that coming from? Get my keys. Oh, get ready. Everybody, get in my truck!
In the middle of the forest, in the middle of the night, banging, howling. At first, they thought it was just wildlife, maybe an elk. But this didn't sound like any animal they'd ever heard before. The noises were deep and guttural, echoing through the trees. Then came the thumping, heavy, menacing, and far too powerful to come from something ordinary. Whatever was out there, it was getting closer, louder, and it sounded like there was more than one. Fortunately, they never found out what it was, leaving their trip early. What do you think it was? I know one thing. Those are the last sounds I'd ever want to hear while camping. Number 2, January 2024, Palm Springs, California. Ian on YouTube is a vlogging channel where Ian shares moments from his everyday life, travel adventures, stealth camping challenges, and sharing life experiences. But what was supposed to be just another light-hearted video, spending the night stealth camping in a McDonald's parking lot, quickly turned into something much darker. He'd set up as usual, tucked himself in, and was ready to call it a night. But before he could fall asleep, he was jolted awake by the sound of someone trying to open his van door, over and over again.
What's going on, man? What's going on? What's up? What's up, man? What's going on? What are you doing?
No words, just silent, unsettling eye contact through the glass and a blank stare. What was he doing there, in the middle of the night? Was he on something? Was he scoping it out to break in?
Hey, bro. What's up? What you doing, man? Hey, weird, bro.
Ian, reasonably freaked out, decided to drive to a more secluded spot in the lot, away from the man. However, the man was still walking around the lot as if he was searching for him. Ian left in fear for his safety. The man's intentions still unknown. Was he trying to scare him off? Or was it something far darker? Let me know what you think. Number 1, December 2020, Appalachian Trail, Virginia. Phil from the YouTube channel Hike Slam is known for his outdoor adventures, hiking, camping, and exploring nature. But in late 2020, he uploaded something a little different from his usual peaceful trail videos. The video was titled, "Creepy Night in the Woods." The trip started out like any other, until Phil noticed something strange. Trash in the forest. Normal. Trash covered in writing, full of what appears to be song lyrics. Not so much. They were covered in writing. Strange phrases and what looked like song lyrics scribbled all over them. Why would someone write on garbage and leave it? But the deeper he hiked, the more bizarre it got.
The weirdness continues. What the? And there's a dead duck here.
The notes contained cryptic poems, ramblings about the FBI, and strange fragmented thoughts that were nearly impossible to make out. Then, beside one of the notes, a dead duck. Even more unsettling, the papers were dry and clean, meaning they had been left there recently. Phil soon noticed another campsite nearby. Feeling uneasy, he decided to leave, hiking in the opposite direction in search of somewhere safer to spend the night. Eventually, he found a new shelter, miles away from the strange area. He set up his tent, cooked dinner by the fire peacefully, and tried to shake off the unease from earlier. Before going to sleep, Phil decided to check the camp logbook, a notebook left for campers to jot down their names, stories, and thoughts when they stay. But this is where the peace ended.
I'm gonna check out the shelter log here. I hang out by the fire. Almost every shelter on the Appalachian Trail has a shelter log where people write in their trail names and what's going on. They can write whatever they want in there. So it's kind of cool tradition here. So let's see what this one says. Little engine, back section. Hiking again finally. It's nice and little trail magic. Some comics and writing and stuff. Alright, let's see what's happened recently. Holy crap. Wait a second. Well, let me adjust the camera here. This writing looks almost exactly like the writing that was on that garbage a couple of miles from here.
Miles away, Phil thought he was safe. But once he sees the writing, he knows right away. It's the same writing. More disturbing is what the writing actually says.
2018, while I was incarcerated at the Okaloosa County Jail. What the heck? In solitary confinement, I figured the following out. Refer to Isaiah 28:15 through 9. This is the same ramblings from the guy that was on the other side of the river. That's kind of scary. Kind of weird. Those women down there said they were going to call the police on the guy. Wow, this is weird. It's just like it goes in one direction, then immediately goes in a completely different direction. And there's just so much of it. Like this line up here. Think grave robbery in an attempt to obscure the reality of Little Mrs. Wolf. Content. Come up with some more of those wicked schemes, JB and company, so I can show some more of your true character.
Realizing, in the middle of the night, completely alone, that there might be a mentally disturbed, convicted felon wandering the same woods as you, is absolute nightmare fuel. Defenseless, isolated, and surrounded by nothing but darkness, the fear becomes almost paralyzing. Later, Phil discovered something even more unsettling. Half a Gatorade bottle hanging from a string, with the words, "Watch out for Yeet Mouse." The dead do walk and talk. Trying to sleep after that. Easier said than done. Phil could only pray for a quiet, uneventful night, but his luck ran out when he heard strange noises in the middle of the night. Peeking out of his tent, he spotted a man wearing a headlamp, slowly moving through the trees nearby. Not waiting to find out who or what it was, Phil quietly packed up and slipped away into the darkness, constantly glancing over his shoulder until he finally reached his truck. He made it out safely, but has never spoken about the incident since. Phil was lucky, because if that man really was the felon, we can only imagine what might have happened if their paths had crossed. What do you think was going on out there? From eerie encounters deep in the woods to mysterious strangers lurking, these stories remind us just how unpredictable and at times terrifying the world can be, and that sometimes the most scary predators aren't animals. Which of these stories chilled you the most? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss the next upload. Until next time, stay safe, stay curious, and always keep your eyes open.